Guys, we're back, and we are down at the Trinity Sportsmen Show. We're sponsored by Covert Scouting Cameras today, and I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Dave Priebe from Quaker Boy Game Calls.
There we go.
And Dave was on our show on the podcast, and we went down to New Hampshire Fish and Game. They invited me down. You did 2 talks down there, and we recorded the event, and you made it onto our podcast because of all the content, and that's how we were introduced. So I caught Dave. You were filling in for somebody upstairs.
I was filling in for Joe Jones this morning, yeah.
All right.
From the turkey hunting talk.
So Dave's a faceted hunter. He's a turkey hunter. He is a deer hunter. He is a fly fisherman. So he's a true outdoorsman, and I've gotten to know Dave over the last few years. We've become good buddies, and you actually have a radio show too. So this is not foreign to you whatsoever.
No, not at all. Just to share a little bit with the audience about myself, I'm 60 years old. Just turned 60. 60 trips around the sun.
You're 60?
I'm 60. Yeah.
You don't look like you're 60.
Well, thank you very much. I don't feel like I'm 60. Love the outdoors. Love to hunt and fish, and I have a wife, a couple adult children. Make good decisions, and I make my living as an engineer. I'm a software engineer I worked in the telecommunications industry, that area, my whole career. And I also produce and host radio right over here, New Hampshire Gospel Radio, the Saturday Night Gospel Hour, which is on tonight. And we're going to be featuring the Wise Carvers tonight. So
the Wise Carvers,
the Wise Carvers. They're a group from out of Missouri.
Okay,
and just a fine family group.
Nice.
So if you're in the listening area, be sure to tune in for that. And, been on the pro staff of Quaker Boy Game Calls for 17, 18 years now, maybe more. I've kind of lost track. And I'm also a certified hunter educator with New Hampshire Fish and Game.
Right.
And so I just really, really enjoy the outdoors. Consider myself a student of the natural world. And my wife and I are also master beekeepers.
Yes, I know that.
And EAS certified master beekeeper.
The reason I know that is because you told me to check out Dr. Nordberg.
Dr. Nordberg.
And you said, hey, I've got these fantastic books, especially the second edition.
Yes.
You can't find it anywhere. But if you come out to my house, I'll leave them in the garage for you. And you can pick them up. And then you just spend time with them and the DVDs.
Yeah.
So I did. And they were fascinating.
They are fascinating.
And I gave them back. But in the meantime, I saw that you had honey for sale because your wife is a beekeeper. And when I went out there, she was in the hive, all decked out in her white clothes. And I didn't bother. I didn't want to get anywhere close to the hive at that point. I just grabbed the books and ran. But I've since returned the books because you made me swear that they would come back in perfect working order because they're that precious.
They are.
They're fascinating books, and we've actually had Dr. Nordberg on the show, as you may recall, after the fact. But what an amazing guy! He talks. I mean, he's kind of talked about the evolution of deer hunting in a lot of ways, how it's changed over the years.
Yeah. So I think for individuals who are really serious about their hunting pursuits, the more you understand about the biology of the animal that you're hunting, the deeper and the better your experience will be. And of course, Nordberg spent a lifetime studying their behavioral biology firsthand in the field, observing them.
That's right.
He also loved to hunt them, but he really wanted to know more about how to pursue these big, elusive deer. And but to finish the thought there, the more you understand about whatever animal it is you're pursuing, the more you respect them.
Right.
And the better and deeper and more full your experience will be in the field. But the Nordberg books were actually given to me by a good friend of mine, Almus Kenter, who you really need to meet. Almus Kenter.
Yes.
He is one of the most serious bow hunters. If you bow hunters out there, you need to meet Almus Kenter too. We got to get him on, and I've mentioned it to him, and he said he'd love to come on sometime.
Okay. He's on my list then.
Almus gave me Nordberg.
Okay.
He said, hey, Dave, you need to read this. And when he gave me the book, I said, no, you can't have it back.
Did you actually give it back?
You can't have it back. No, I still have his book. And then I shared it with my brother-in-law, who's who lives in Ohio,
Yeah.
and he was visiting, and he just sat on the couch and read the whole thing like a couple times through. He didn't even get up, and then he bought me all the other ones, because of the impact that Nordberg and the presentation of his material had on him. And in fact, this afternoon at 2:00, I will be presenting Nordberg's Hunting Dominant Bucks,
which is the show that we had
That's right.
featured on our podcast a while back. So
that's right.
If you're on iTunes, or if you even go to YouTube, it's on YouTube as well. So if you Google Dave Priebe, and it's Priebe. Priebe, and you will find the podcast that we did. So if you can't come attend his show today or his talk today, you can go to YouTube and find it on our podcast. Or if you're on iTunes, you can find it there. Go to our podcast. Go get that little podcast player that's on your iPhone. It's purple. It's a little purple icon, and you click on that and you do a search for the Big Buck Registry, and you'll have access to some of the most unbelievably talented deer hunters and minds in the country. Right here.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
Present company included.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that's entirely true, but I am a student of it and do enjoy the pursuit of it. And for those of you who are motivated to really try to harvest really big deer, you really need to be a student of them. It's very, very challenging. A lot of deer are killed by accident. You go out and you have an accident.
It is accidental.
And you take one. But to really, really hunt them, sweat of brow, time in the field, understanding their biology.
Understanding where they're at.
Understanding where they're at and what they're doing, and really, really understanding the terrain and how to set up on them.
In your own hunting, you frequently refer to the concept that you will go out and meat hunt. Mostly, you like those 100-pound deers, the 100-pound does.
Yeah, well, that's what the wife orders.
So, how often do you end up pursuing a big whitetail that you have identified as living in your area?
Well, as soon as I'm sure there's one around, then I will put the effort in to pursue one. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to talk a whole lot about it.
You don't want to tell you where you're finding.
I'm sure there's people out there who know where I hunt too.
Yes, so. I know where you hunt. I'm not going to bother you.
But and there's places in Maine I hunt also. So
okay.
But to really do this correctly requires a real serious investment early in the season. And these days I'm doing a lot of fly fishing, so I'm not putting the time in that I really need. To be successful year over year killing big deer.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. All right.
But I'm getting close to retiring here. A couple of years, I think I'll have more time.
Then you're just gonna be a madman.
Yeah, and I know the areas already. Roscoe Blaisdell, who's the president of New Hampshire Skull.
Sure do. I can see him as right here. He's right over there in that booth.
There's my good friend Roscoe.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't live far from you, right?
Well, that is a real serious. No, he's just down the street from me. Now that man is a big buck hunter, a serious big buck hunter.
I was running a little late today, and we didn't get him on earlier, but we were kind of winging it anyways when I talked to Roscoe. So I'm going to try to snag him here before we go too far.
He's an amazing individual. And for those who want to have a lot of fun, just go like Roscoe on Facebook. And he's a covert game cam madman.
He does like his covert game cams. That is for sure.
The video and the footage he gets of critters, as he calls them, is really fun.
He's kind of a joker too. Have you ever noticed on his Facebook page how he'll post things and he's very good at it because it's very subtle. Like the turkey post that he did last year. I think it's like a 50-something pound bird and it had 27 beards. And you look at the picture and it's actually kind of or the way he took the angles, like there's no way. So there's always this doubt in your mind, like, wow, did he really do that? And like, no, it's Roscoe. He's just joking around.
Oh, he's a fun man. And he has an amazing trophy room and he's hunted all over the world.
Yeah. He had his GoPro out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
He was showing off his hunting collection.
Yep.
It was quite impressive.
Yes.
Quite impressive. So what's going on with you today? You're going to be giving that talk later on?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I'm here with Danny LaPointe and Dan's Fly Shop up in Gorham. Dan's a real good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And at 2:00 I will be presenting the Norbert Matula again, the hunting dominant bucks talk.
Cool.
So that's
really something
meant.
that's kind of you've got ingrained in your brain.
Oh yes. I've given that talk many times now, probably 10, 12 times now. I've given that.
Well, very good. Well, thanks for coming on the show and going live with us on Blue Jeans. Again, we're sponsored by Covert Scouting Cameras, and if you're in the Concord area, what time's your show coming on?
6 o'clock.
6
New
o'clock.
Hampshire Gospel Radio,
Okay.
nhgr.org.
All right. And what time is your talk today?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. So come down to Trinity Baptist Church on Clinton Street in Concord, and you can see Dave talk live about dominant bucks, and then catch his radio show later on the AM radio?
FM. Yep. Go to nhgr.org.
nhgr.org. All right. Very good. Thanks,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
God bless.